In this video, you're going to learn how to interpret the meaning of Mars in your natal chart through some keywords and some key phrases. I'm going to share with you some ideas I have about how to start approaching the Mars interpretation so that you can become a more confident astrologer. So if you are an aspiring astrologer, this is for you. This video is part of my beginner series, and there is more information about Mars in the houses you can check on this video, and then also Mars in the signs as well here. And I will group them all together in a playlist for you. As we go through, you can share your experience of Mars through your chart as well, and you can just write down in the comments below which sign and house your Mars is in, and any comment you'd like to make about how the Mars energy has been expressed in your life. Welcome stars, I'm Alison. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get into the how to interpret Mars in your chart. So we're going to go over a few Mars keywords, and some are more like Mars key sentences, let's face it. So first up, survival of the fittest. Here we have the guy, super fit and all the rest of it, but if you can't get the jar open, ultimately he's going to starve. And this goes really back to Darwin's theory on survival of the fittest. It's not necessarily physical fitness, but it's mental agility as well, and being in perhaps even in the right place at the right time, or having enough funds to support you over a lean period such as we've recently had. So survival of the fittest is very much a Mars keyword. Where you expend energy. Mars is the planet that shows the energy in your chart, and it shows where you will actually get off the couch and go and do something. So depending on your Mars position by sign or house, this will influence the actual energy levels you have in general for life. Where you compete, have strategy, and are tactical. So Mars is a warrior, a fighter almost. So say you are playing a game of chess, you have an opponent and you want to compete against them to win. And to do so, you actually need to have some form of strategy to get your pieces across the board and plan your attack. And you have to be tactical in that you put things in place, perhaps on the sides or on the flanks, that will ultimately enable you to compete or win at what it is you're trying to achieve in life. Mars also shows how you defend yourself. And it can be as simple as, what are the locks like on your front door? Are they rusty old things, or have you got the latest technology? Your defense of yourself is also to do with personal protection, and it's how you would... Mars has a lot to do with personal protection and how you will even argue back with people who are trying to perhaps diminish you or humiliate you, and you need to defend your position verbally as well as physically. So will you take it lying down, or are you going to step up and do something? Are you a doormat, or will you defend your position? That will be shown by your Mars placement. Mars also has an awful lot to do with primal urges and libido. So this basically means the continuation of the species. The fact that humans have been going for over 200,000 years is not just by chance. We are all programmed to reproduce. We are programmed to put our DNA forward into the next generation. And no matter how society wants to veil it all, we are still ultimately going to want to do that at some point. So Mars will show the energy and the appetite you have for pursuing these types of goals. Mars also shows the masculine traits that you seek in a mate. So if you are a woman, it will typically show the type of guy that you are interested in by your own Mars position by sign and house. And even if you are just looking for a partner in life, Mars will indicate the traditional masculine traits that we associate with being male. And Mars is very much showing the type of mate or partner that you would be attracted to. Mars also shows steel tools in which you are skilled. And here my example is someone threading up a sewing machine. And I have this because that's the sort of thing that I can do. But any type of steel tools and tools in general that you would use, such as, and I'm going to go down the craft route and talk about knitting, crocheting, any types of needles like that, sewing machines, but it also obviously covers things like hammers and spanners and handyman type things, that all what we would consider as tools in a toolbox. And it can also, on the much higher level, it is represented by the scalpel that is wielded by the surgeon who cuts open your body and saves your life in some way, or does something very clever in the operating theatre, using obviously a whole load of tools that I don't even know the names of. I only know the names of the scalpel, but that's the sort of tools that you can use, the tools that you are skilled in using. So Mars shows your competitive edge and where you will line up publicly and go and compete with somebody. So this could be straight up running race. It could clearly be a cycling race. I imagine it's the Tour de France. Anything like that shows your competitive edge. But your Mars placement can also show how you compete with yourself. So if you could run a 4-minute mile last week, you will want to do it in 3 minutes 59 this week. And you are constantly competing against yourself in the nature of your Mars placement. In the body, Mars has to do with your blood, also your blood pressure, and any flushing or blushing of the face. It also shows up any rashes or where the blood has come to the surface. And you can see this in bruises too, where the blood has come to the surface and is showing through your skin. So Mars does rule the blood in a chart, and anything to do with that area of your health will be represented by your Mars condition, again by house, sign and aspects. Okay, so there it is. We went through some Mars keywords, key phrases that can be used as an indication of how Mars will be expressed through your life. And you can adjust it to suit your sign and house as well, but to understand that the main key thrusts and main keywords that are related to Mars are listed on the slides of what we just saw. Also, that these keywords and phrases are specific to Mars. You couldn't use them for other planets, and that's why I've condensed them down into pretty much of a short list of main Mars keywords for you to use. So please share this video with anybody who would be interested. I'm Alison Price. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.